The salt water stings my eyes as I wake, blinking against the glaring sun. The world tilts, then steadies until I realize I'm not on solid ground. I'm not even on anything familiar. My chest tightens in panic, and I shoot upright. The sensation is dizzying, like I've been tossed around in a storm, but everything is calm now. I'm alone, stranded, in the middle of nowhere. A small raft bobs in the waves, the only thing keeping me afloat. My hands tremble as I sit up, my mind reeling, trying to make sense of the situation. I can't remember how I got here. What the hell happened? I run a hand through my hair, but it's matted, salty, and wild. I'm a mess. My heart pounds as I look around. No land, no ships, just water. Endless water in every direction. A deep blue ocean stretching to the horizon as if it swallows the sky itself. I scan the raft, my eyes flicking over the cracked wood beneath me, the frayed ropes tied haphazardly, a few random objects scattered on the floor. A dirty plastic water bottle, a torn tarp, a rusty pocket knife. No food, no shelter, no clue how long I've been drifting here. How the hell did I get here? I try to remember anything, my name, my life, where I was before this, but my mind is a foggy void. Panic sets in again. I don't even know who I am. Before we dive deeper into this nightmare, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more chilling stories that will keep you up at night. You won't want to miss the twists and turns ahead. I stand, my legs shaking, gripping the edge of the raft to steady myself. There's a dull pain in my side, but I can't tell if it's from the strain or something worse. I close my eyes and focus, trying to piece together the fragments of memory that remain. There's nothing, just the faintest sensation of something. Someone, lost in the deep like an echo. A muffled voice lingers at the edges of my thoughts. The faintest whisper. Focus. Focus on where you are. Focus on what's around you. I blink and look around again. My gaze lands on the compass lying in the corner of the raft. It's a strange thing, weathered, old, the metal tarnished, but it feels oddly familiar, like it belongs in my hand. Without thinking, I pick it up, instinctively turning it toward the horizon. The needle jerks, spinning wildly, half refusing to settle. I swallow hard, my throat dry, and try to breathe. The world feels unreal, like I'm caught between two places, like I'm not supposed to be here. Who am I? I glance back at the compass, watching the needle spin out of control. There's something deeply unsettling about it. As I stare at it, the voices, the ones I thought were just a trick of the mind, become louder. I hear them now, coming from the ocean itself. I shake my head, trying to block it out. It's all too much, too fast. I can't think, I can't remember. But then, like a flash, something clicks. A fragment, a piece of a memory emerges from the fog. My name is Jack. The thought comes like a whisper in the dark, quiet but undeniable. Jack. But that's all I know. Jack. No last name. No face to match it. Just a name and a body adrift in the middle of an endless sea. Sea. I sit back down on the raft, staring at the compass again. It's still spinning, still refusing to cooperate. The voices are louder now. I strain to hear them, but they don't form words. They don't make sense. There's no land in sight. I try to think. I try to concentrate on anything that might help me understand how I ended up here. The last thing I remember is nothing. There's nothing. The sun burns above me, relentless and unforgiving. My lips crack from thirst, my throat parched. I try to remember if I've had anything to drink. I must have, but there's no way to know. It's all so wrong. I glance down at the water bottle. It's half full, but the water inside is murky, a faint brownish hue. I hesitate, then take a long sip, grimacing at the taste. I immediately regret it, the taste of metal and salt stinging my tongue. But I'm thirsty, and there's nothing else. I look at the water again. It's eerily calm, too calm. No waves, no swells, just flat, unbroken ocean as far as I can see. The lack of movement feels wrong, unnatural. Suddenly, the thought crosses my mind. I'm not alone. I stand again, heart pounding in my chest. The feeling of being watched settles over me, creeping up my spine. I twist around, expecting to see something or someone behind me, but there's nothing. No one. Just the vast emptiness of the sea. Still, the sensation remains. I rub my eyes trying to shake the feeling, but it doesn't go away. I look down at the water again, squinting into the distance, half expecting to see something rising from the depths, something unnatural. But there's nothing. For a moment, I wonder if I've lost my mind. The heat, the hunger, the thirst, it could be driving me insane. I glance at the compass again. It's still spinning, its needle shaking erratically. I watch it for a few moments longer before it suddenly jerks to a stop, pointing east. East. I hesitate. The compass didn't lie to me earlier. It led me to the ship, didn't it? I can't explain why, but something about the direction feels right. It's as if I'm being drawn to it, pulled by an unseen force. The thought fills me with dread. But what choice do I have? I grip the compass tightly in my hand, set my jaw, and make a decision. I'm going to follow it. I have no other options. I sit down, trying to collect my bearings. I have to do something. I can't just sit here, waiting for death to take me. I look around the raft again, making sure everything is in place, then slowly push myself to the side, grabbing a paddle. The motion feels awkward, like I'm fighting against my own body, but I keep going. The sound of the paddle slicing through the water is the only noise, drowning out everything else, even the whispers. I push forward, moving in the direction the compass points. The water around me feels colder now, the silence deeper. I'm acutely aware of the emptiness, of how small I am in the vastness of the ocean. But there's something else, too. Something stirring beneath the surface, just beyond my reach. Something that knows I'm here. The sensation grows stronger, and with it, the fear. I push the thoughts out of my mind and focus on the task ahead. The raft drifts on, its course set by an invisible force. I have no idea what awaits me at the end of this journey. I don't know if I'll ever make it to land, or if I'm just following this compass into a nightmare. But I don't have any choice. Not anymore. If you're hooked, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss another terrifying video. The sun is relentless. It's been hours, days, since I first decided to follow the compass, and I'm no closer to understanding any of this. Every stroke of the paddle feels like an eternity, my muscles burning with effort. The ocean, at first so calm, is now growing colder, darker, as if the very water itself is conspiring against me. There are moments when the waves break against the raft with force, tossing me to one side, but each time I manage to right myself like some helpless puppet on strings, pulled by forces I can't see. My thirst has grown unbearable, and the food I have is non-existent. The bottle of murky water is long gone, and I haven't had a proper meal since I can't remember. I can feel my body wasting away. My skin is pale and tight, my lips cracked, my eyes bloodshot. But the thirst is what hurts the most. It gnaws at me, a constant reminder of how fragile I am, how close I am to the edge. Every drop of water I manage to scrape from the raft's surface is too salty, too bitter, only adding to the suffering. And yet, I keep paddling, because I have to. I don't know why. Something about the compass pulls me forward like a magnet, driving me through this madness. Every time I glance down at it, its needle points in the same direction, east. I can't explain it. I can't understand why I'm compelled to keep going. The whispers haven't stopped either. At first they were faint, just echoes at the edge of my consciousness, like something brushing the back of my neck when I wasn't paying attention. But now, they're growing louder, more distinct, more real. I'm not imagining this. There's something in the water. The sound is like a low hum, a constant murmur, and at night it's like an eerie lullaby that seems to seep into my very bones. The voices come from the deep, pulling at my sanity, making me doubt what's real. They call my name. I know they do. It's subtle at first, but now I hear it clearly. Jack, Jack. I try to block it out, but it's impossible. The sea, the sky, everything around me, everything feels alive. I grip the paddle tighter, as if my life depends on it. And maybe it does. The worst part isn't the hunger. It isn't the thirst. It's the feeling of being watched. The sensation that I'm never truly alone, even though the raft should be empty. That something is always just beyond my reach, lurking beneath the water's surface, hidden in the shadows. The first time I felt it, I dismissed it. But as the days pass and my mind begins to unravel, it becomes harder to ignore. I catch myself glancing over the side of the raft, half expecting to see something. Someone emerging from the depths. The thought is irrational, yet it lingers. It's also wrong. The calmness of the ocean, the emptiness of the world around me, the silence between the whispers. Everything feels off, as though I've been swept into a nightmare I can't wake from. I want to scream, to throw myself into the water and let it take me away. But something deep inside me tells me I can't. Not yet. I keep paddling, keep moving. But the horizon, The horizon is as distant as ever. I thought I would reach something, anything by now, but the ocean stretches on, infinite and unforgiving. The compass still points east. But to where? I fall asleep? Or maybe it's just unconsciousness. Who can tell? And when I open my eyes again, I'm startled by the sound of something tapping against the raft. I sit up so quickly my head spins. My heart skips a beat as I look around, searching for the source. The ocean is calm, too calm. There's nothing in sight. No ship, no land, nothing except the endless stretch of water. But the sound persists. Tap, tap, tap. It's coming from beneath me. I freeze, holding my breath. My heart beats so loudly, I'm sure it will give me away. The tapping is rhythmic, like something or someone knocking against the bottom of the raft. I feel a cold sweat break out along my skin. The sensation of being watched grows stronger. I can't stay still. I rise to my feet, hands shaking, my mind racing with every possibility. The tapping doesn't stop. I peer down into the water, but the surface remains unbroken. No waves, no ripples, just the same still, dark water. Then, suddenly, a shadow moves beneath me. I stumble backward, my pulse hammering in my ears. The raft jerks. Something large is swimming just below me, something I can't see. My breath catches in my throat, panic setting in. The shadow is fast, its movement fluid as if it's following me. I don't know why, but I leap to the side, as though I could escape it by sheer will alone. And then the tapping stops. I don't know what I saw, what was beneath me. But whatever it was, it felt wrong. The ocean feels like a trap, a massive, cold void, hiding something ancient and terrifying. I'm no longer just a person lost at sea, I'm prey. And the ocean is the predator. The voices intensify, louder now, closer. My name. Over and over again. I hear it as I stare at the compass, the needle still pointing east. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow it anymore. My mind is unraveling, my grip on reality slipping with every passing moment. The ocean is too vast, too unforgiving, and I feel so small, so helpless. I try to push the fear away, but it creeps in, gnawing at me. The idea of being swallowed whole, of being consumed by the ocean, it's too much to bear. I try to think, to remember anything that could help me make sense of all this. But my mind is a fog, and the more I struggle to find clarity, the more elusive it becomes. I think back to the journal I found on the abandoned ship. The journal that spoke of curses, of a ship that vanished without a trace, of a terrible force in the water. It had mentioned a crew member, a passenger, who disappeared. I don't know why, but that passenger's fate feels important. It feels like it's connected to me, somehow. Was I on that ship? Was I part of its crew? Did I forget something crucial? I shiver as a thought creeps into my mind. What if I'm not supposed to remember? What if forgetting is part of the curse? The sun dips low on the horizon, casting a blood-red hue over the water. The colors twist and writhe in unnatural ways, as though the ocean itself is bleeding into the sky. I feel the weight of the night creeping in, and I know I can't keep going much longer. But I can't stop. I can't stop until I know what's happening. Until I know if there's any chance of escape. I pull the raft into motion again, my movements slow and heavy. But this time, I'm not just paddling toward the unknown. I'm running from it, trying to outrun whatever it is that haunts me. But the ocean is vast. There's nowhere to run. The whispers grow louder, and I know that I'm not alone. I can hear the whispers now. They're not just in my head anymore. They're all around me, echoing off the walls of my mind like the jagged edges of a broken mirror. Jack. Jack. It's as though the ocean itself is calling my name, reaching out to me with 1,000 voices, each one more urgent than the last. The compass still points east, but the direction feels like a lie now, like the very earth beneath me is shifting, pulling me deeper into something I can't escape. I paddle, though my arms feel like they're made of stone. My body is weak, emaciated, and I'm not sure if I'm still moving or if I've simply stopped and the world is moving around me. The sun has set again, and the darkness feels thicker tonight. It presses down on me like a weight, suffocating and cold. The ocean, once calm and serene, now churns around me in unnatural waves, rising and falling like a living thing. I grip the paddle tighter, though I know it's pointless. The water seems to pull at me now, as though it's trying to drag me under, whispering promises of peace in exchange for surrender. I hear the sound of something moving beneath the raft again, the tapping, the knocking. It's louder this time, like a rhythmic pounding, growing closer with each passing moment. My heartbeat quickens, but I can't stop paddling. Not now. I can't look down at the water. I can't afford to face whatever lurks beneath me. The voices grow louder. They speak faster now, more urgently. They're in a language I don't understand, but I feel their meaning reverberate through me. There's a desperation to their call, a hunger. Jack. Jack. Come closer. It's time. I snap my head around, my eyes wild, searching the dark horizon for any sign of land. But there's nothing. Just the endless stretch of water, an ocean that refuses to let me go. I've been drifting for days, maybe weeks, and still I'm no closer to any answer. No closer to understanding what's happening to me. A scream catches in my throat, but I can't scream. The air is thick, the weight of it pressing against my chest, suffocating me. I want to stop, collapse into the sea, let it take me away, but I know I can't. Not yet. Something shifts beneath the surface again. I can't tell if it's real or if it's just my mind slipping, unraveling, but there's no denying it anymore. The ocean is alive, and it knows I'm here. My eyes dart across the water, and for a split second, I see something. A flash, a shadow moving just below the surface, too fast for me to register, but enough to make my skin crawl. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up, my pulse races. I can't stay in this raft. I can't stay here. The water is pulling me deeper, calling me closer to whatever it is that waits beneath. But what choice do I have? I look down at the compass. It's still pointing east, though now the needle spins erratically, like it's losing its way, like it's just as lost as I am. I've been following it, blindly trusting it, but now I don't know if it's leading me to salvation or to my doom. I try to think. I try to remember anything that could explain this madness. The ship, the journal, the curses. But it's all a blur. Every time I grasp at the fragments of memory, they slip through my fingers like sand. I shut my eyes tightly and squeeze the paddle so hard my knuckles turn white. I force myself to breathe, to focus. I need to concentrate. I need to find a way out. But there's nothing. There's no answer. I look up again, scanning the horizon, and that's when I see it. A shape. A dark silhouette against the blackness of the sea, barely visible in the distance. At first, I think it's a ship, a faint glimmer of hope. But then the shape shifts, moving in a way that no ship should. It's wrong. It's unnatural. It's large, too large, and it's coming closer, cutting through the water with unnatural speed. My heart stops. My blood runs cold. This isn't a ship. Whatever it is, it's not human. It's something else, something ancient. I freeze, my breath caught in my throat. The whispers grow louder, more insistent. They're coming from all around me now, pressing in on me from every direction. They're not in my head anymore. They're real, and they're close. The shape grows larger, and I can make out details now, faint, grotesque outlines in the darkness. The water around it ripples with unnatural force, waves crashing against the shape as it moves closer. I want to turn. I want to swim. I want to run, but there's nowhere to go. The shape stops just short of the raft, hovering in the water. For a moment, there's nothing but silence, an eerie stillness. And then, from the depths, a voice speaks. Jack. I freeze. The voice is low, guttural, like the sound of the ocean itself speaking through 1,000 mouths. Come closer, Jack. I don't move. I can't move. My body is frozen in place, my heart thudding painfully in my chest. The whispers are louder now, deafening. The ocean is alive, and it's speaking to me. I feel something pulling at me. The water, the raft, the very air around me. It's as if the ocean itself is reaching out, trying to drag me into its depths. The shape in the water moves again, and this time, I see it clearly. It's a mass of writhing shadows, tentacles or arms or something else entirely. I can't tell. I can't look long enough to know, but I know it's not human. It's something else. Something ancient and powerful. Jack. The voice again, this time clearer, more insistent. I feel it in my bones, deep in my chest. It's calling me. The whispers have turned into a roar, drowning out all other sound. I can't hear myself think. The pressure in my head is unbearable, like my skull is being crushed under the weight of 1,000 voices. I close my eyes, trying to block it all out, but the ocean is everywhere. The whispers are everywhere. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it stops. The shape in the water is gone. The silence is absolute. My breath comes in short, ragged gasps. I open my eyes, searching the water around me, but there's nothing. Just the gentle rocking of the raft on the waves. I don't understand. What was that? What just happened? I turn the paddle in my hands, looking at it like it's a foreign object, my mind reeling. The compass is still in my other hand, the needle pointing east. But now it's no longer just a tool. It feels like a weight, a burden, dragging me forward into something I can't escape. I hear it again. Jack. This time the voice is close, too close. It's in my ear and I spin around, heart hammering, but there's no one there. No creature, no shape, no shadow. But I know it's not gone. It's still there, just beneath the surface, waiting for me to follow. And I know, deep down, that I will. The whispers are louder now, more insistent. The ocean is waiting. And I'm running out of time. And that's where we'll leave things for now. What's lurking beneath the surface? What does the ocean want from Jack? And will he ever find his way out of this nightmare? The story's just getting started, and you don't want to miss what comes next. Make sure to hit that like button if you're hooked, and leave a comment with your thoughts. What do you think is really out there in the deep? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know when the next chapter drops. This nightmare is far from over, and trust me, it's only going to get worse from here. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Until next time, keep your eyes open. Who knows what's lurking in the dark?